Hello everyone, welcome to Iron Phoenix's video tutorials, and a special welcome to all those people who have just joined us. This is my mapping tutorial series, and I'm going to be going into triggers today. So, a trigger is quite simply something that might cause something to happen somewhere else on the map. Think of it like the destination circuit of some kind of small explosive device. You press the button, something is going to happen. It might just be a little bit of smoke, or it might be a huge bang. And that's exactly what could happen in a map. You could walk into a trigger and a door could open, or a building could explode, or somebody could walk across the room. And that's exactly what, the whole idea of the triggers are. And the triggers are dead easy to use, really, and they're really quite self-explanatory. I know some people have been having some issues with trigger push, and I'll be going into that in a second. First thing though, I'm just going to create a door that when you walk into the volume, doors will open. When you walk out the volume, doors will close. So, create a brush entity, or a brush, sorry. Cover it with the trigger texture, not the Tigger texture, the trigger texture. And press Ctrl T to tie it to an entity, and call it a trigger multiple. Ensure that in flags clients is checked, and anything else that you want. So you could have if you wanted an NPC to walk into the door, click the NPC flag, or any of these. Don't need to give it a name or anything, just go to the Outputs tab, add, on start touching, station door, open, on end touch, station door, close. So now when you walk into that volume, door will open, or the doors will open, because that one will open that way, that one will open that way. And when you leave it, the doors will close. Just need to change the lip and the delay before reset on both of them. Just check that they're done. Right. Otherwise you get Z fighting, and then the doors close if you don't change the delay before reset. But we all know that already. So the next thing on my list, trigger hurt. Let's go over here. So someone goes near that payphone, I want to hurt them for it. So create your trigger, take your trigger brush and make it a trigger hurt. So here we go, the damage. So that would be 10 damage every second, I believe. I'll just check that. Oh, the damage is done every half second. So, yeah. And that's the maximum damage dealt per second. So you can change that up to 100 and damage to 100, and then kill somebody instantly if they've got 100. Health. So it will be doing a maximum of 20 damage a second. If you were to change that to -10, it will be then healing somebody for 20 every second. But I'm just going to leave it at that for the moment. So yeah, if you want to damage someone, make it a positive number. If you want to heal someone, make it a negative number. Next thing on my list, trigger remove. So I'm just going to create a brush in this park. Tie it to an entity of trigger remove. And change it to physics objects, pushables, physics debris, and just create a drop physics, so that when we go into the map I can show you it disappearing. So we'll drum. There you go. And so, our trigger push. Right. Trigger push is a little bit of an awkward one to do because you have to take into account that all of your textures are going to have a certain amount of friction. So you need to create a speed that's high enough to overcome the friction, but low enough so that you can aim for what you're actually, you can hit what you're aiming at or whatever. So the other thing these are used for are conveyor belts, because obviously if you make something a conveyor, front conveyor, trigger conveyor, something like that, the only thing it will only move people, it won't move objects. Don't ask me why. It's just something that Valve decided, and as we know, Valve do know best. So we have our trigger here, trigger brush, and of course that's another thing that should be fixed but hasn't been. So trigger push. So this is our trigger push brush, and we're going to have a nice big speed of push, say 500 might be enough, and we want it to affect everything, and physics debris, sorry. And at the moment that will be firing towards that wall there, so I'm just going to push it out a bit. And of course we also need to know where our entity is, so I'm just going to put in some kind of platform, if it will actually let me copy anything. Thank you. Just going to texture that with has, so we know where it is, and hit the to world button. And I guess we better have some kind of oil drum. So I'm just going to render this up now, so you can see it all in glorious Technicolor, and I'll see you on the other side. Hello everyone, welcome back, and here we have our map. So over here, these are the doors that will open when you walk into the volume and then close when you walk out the volume. We have our payphone over here, which will do you damage when you walk up to it. We have our trigger remove, which will remove any entity that moves into it that we've specified. And of course over here we have our push that will push any entity out of it. Hope you've enjoyed the tutorial, and I hope it helps you a little bit more. Any questions, comments, whatever, dump it on YouTube and I'll try and get back to it as soon as possible. And hope this helps you in the future. Thank you very much for watching.